Sifting through an oubliette of ologies, ographies and odoxies. I'm joined on this ontological outing today by an ologist. It's Bill Bailey. An ographer. It's Phill Jupitus. An ossifer. It's Claudia Winkleman. And are oh so logical. Bill goes.
Ho, 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 it's magic, you know.
Phil goes.
Oh, Carol.
You are a mover. And Claudia goes.
Oh, what a night.
This is good.
Yeah. And Alan goes.
Oh, no.
OK, let's start with this. How might the CIA win the Cold War with this? OK, so I've got one for each of you. You should have one sitting there.
Yes,
so
we do have
it is like the old arcade game. So one of you presses the things to try and fox the other. That's it. And one of you has to grab it. There's no point just... That's it. Grab the thing. Yeah. Oh, Bill, very good. Have you got that? Yeah.
I have to do that. I'm not doing it. I'm not
Keep going. Keep harder. That's it.
Are you regretting giving us these?
I am now, yes. So...
It's not like Kazakh lottery or something.
No, it's not the lottery. What other bits of the game might you use if it wasn't the balls for the lottery?
The grabber.
The grabber, yes. So CIA, what would they use it for?
Torture.
Grabbing the balls of a spine.
Yes.
Torture.
Yeah, no, it's not that at all. We're going to head to an O area. We're going to go to oceanography.
Oceanography.
OK, and using it...
Getting submarines.
Yes!
out.
Yes!
No!
Yes! Absolutely right! Yes! That is absolutely right. The CIA used the biggest claw grab ever constructed to get hold of a Soviet strategic ballistic missile submarine which had sunk in the Pacific. So, 1968, they began Project Azorian, and the aim was to recover the Soviet sub, K-129, and they got a ship called the Hughes Glomar Explorer. And from the outside, it looked just like any other ship, but in the middle, the major portion of the hull could be opened up underwater to reveal a vast...
Oh, my God.
It really is like a movie. Look at that.
Wow.
To reveal a vast internal... they called it a moon pool.
Does the boat not sink at that point?
Apparently not. And they put down the largest, so exactly like you've got in the game, the largest grabbing claw.
Like one of these?
Yep. Nicknamed Clementine. And they put it right over the wreck. But what always happens in these arcade games when you grab something?
There's no grip.
Yeah.
But then it's immediately released and you get the bunny you didn't want.
Yes, that is exactly what happened.
They got a bunny.
Well, an underwater rabbit.
Oh, thank God. I thought no one was going to come.
I thought you were going to say that nobody on the boat had any change.
Yeah.
They were like...
No, halfway up, they dropped it. Two-thirds of it actually broke away. So they did manage to get a third of it, which fortunately had 2 nuclear torpedoes on it and a, and a cheap watch.
They nearly dropped those then. That would have been...
That would have been bad.
But where was this then?
In the North Pacific.
Wait a minute, is this true?
Yes, it's absolutely true. Happened in 1968. Yes.
This is an amazing show.
Well, the thing is that now this show, in the days we live today, it's all totally plausible because real life is so messed up. You're thinking a big claw grabber for a submarine? Yeah, all right.
And then there was another experiment where they had these nuclear silos and they kept popping. They didn't know which missile that the silo was going to come out of. So they got a giant hammer and they just tried to whack it. And it's called Whack-a-Nuke.
So, talking about amusement arcades, the claw machines,
Yes.
why is it that we don't win? We just drop it halfway. What is the reason for
I
that?
don't want you to win.
I hate to tell you this, they're rigged.
They're rigged.
No.
I know.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
No, it's because
No
the
way.
animals all want to stay together.
During the night, the animals cover each other in oil.
March 2017, a 3-year-old Irish boy called Jamie Bracken Murphy, he so wanted a furry dinosaur that he climbed up the dispensing chute and into the machine.
They're going to try. There's a child here. There's a child.
They had to grab him out.
Get him around the thing. He wouldn't come out without the dinosaurs. He'd got 2 furry dinosaurs. So, in the end, he was rescued by a passing fireman and he was allowed to keep the dinosaurs, but I think so he should be.
I think they should replace the current adoption system with this.
Yeah.
The toys are always a little bit rubbish, aren't they? They're always a little bit cheap.
Yeah.
Did you know that there are sort of disposable submarines now? 80% of the cocaine which leaves Colombia does so in something called a narco sub.
Yes.
And it is a cheaply made submarine. It's made out of fiberglass. And what they do is they take the submarine as far as the US coast, where they get rid of the cocaine, and they just dump the submarine. Apparently, the coast is absolutely littered with... This is...
No.
Yeah.
Did you know this?
I did know this, yeah.
How
Yeah.
do you know this?
I don't know, I just...
He owns
He's got
one.
one.
Bill uses it to smuggle hummus out of Norway.
I just... I've got an interest in the...
Drug smuggling.
in the Mexican drug trade.
Right.
When you say an interest...
Not a financial interest.
Oh, no.
A lot of cocaine gets put into these pallets, and if the police turn up, they just dump it over the side. And a massive pallet of cocaine washed up on a beach in North Devon. And a local dog walker found it.
Yeah.
And the dog, you know, sniffed at it and went, oh, there's something up here. The dog went for a 48-mile walk, and then...
Well, in terms of...
Cocaine coast, they call it.
extraordinary thefts. I think one of my absolute favourites is 2012. A 10-ton railway bridge was stolen in broad daylight in the Czech Republic. Yeah, the thieves told railway officials that they had been hired to remove the bridge and 650 feet of railway track in order to make way for a new cycle path. What? And everybody went... In 2008, thieves made off with an entire beach in Jamaica. The whole thing, 400 metres stretch of white sand. So about 500 truckloads were removed, and nobody noticed till it was too late.
Where are they selling it?
They did forensic tests on beaches all along the seafront, and they discovered some rival hotel developers had just thought, oh, we could do with a beach. And
Yes.
they took the beach and they put it in front of their hotel. They are now...
I was imagining some lucky toddler with the 600-foot sandpit.
But it's apparently a huge issue. In southern India, beach theft is so commonplace, they now have a word for it in the Tamil language, manakulai, and that means beach theft.
Is that your beach? No.
No?
It might look similar.
Right, games away, please.
Sorry.
Thank you very much. So, that was, of course, oceanography, but I have some more ologies here for you. What do these mean? Anybody want to pick one? Oh, you have it.
Enterology.
You want to do enterology?
The science of going indoors.
I like that. Enterology. What do we think it is? Is the opposite
Entro,
of...
isn't it something up your guts?
Absolutely right. It's the study of your intestines, but it's
Yes.
also something else. So the guts are sort of twisted. So it's to do with twisting, something to do with twisting. It's an actual...
It's the study of chubby checker.
Yes. Twisting.
It is a vaudeville act, usually.
Balloon modelling?
No, I like that, though. It's kind of...
Balloon
making...
modelling with your intestines?
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
It's like... Yes.
Imagine that if you were having your guts operated on.
Like a giraffe.
Yes, no. It's making yourself into a balloon animal, if you like.
contortionist.
A contortionist is exactly right.
Contortionist.
It is the act of squeezing yourself into a tiny little space, like a box, that kind of thing.
Someone turned it on when it got in it.
OK, this is an American enterologist called Rick Maisel, and he combines enterology with escapology. So what he does is he climbs into a washing machine wearing 5 pairs of handcuffs and 2 pairs of leg irons. He gets somebody to switch the machine on, and then he escapes while being tumbled in soapy water.
And I hope that he cleans the filter out after.
But
And so the 2 girls with in their underwear next to him, they put their clothes in with him.
Yeah,
haven't
just
they?
tell him that. Well, while he's got a cycle on, you might as well. But apparently contortionists, they tend to specialise in different things. So front benders have... Settle down, people. They've got spines which flex forward, so back benders have the opposite. Splitters have got flexible hips and dislocators can dislocate joints at will. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I've
not
seen
good.
a dislocator.
Have you?
Have you?
Don't
You can
like it.
get through a tennis racket.
No.
The head of
Yeah.
a racket?
I've seen it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Horrible.
Not one of those big ones either, the normal size one.
Yeah, table tennis.
And he's been...
I like oology, whatever that is.
Oology. What do we reckon?
That is the study of how much nans think you've grown.
Say. Come here, I've got a hanky.
So it's watching fireworks.
It's something to do with stones. Is it stones?
No, it's something comes out of birds' bottoms. There we are.
Is it?
It's the study or collection of eggs.
They come out of the
Oology.
anus, the
Yeah,
eggs.
zoology.
Don't they have their own tube eggs? You know about birds.
I don't do with that bit of it.
Disgusting.
I'm the beak end. I'm at the beak end.
I'm the beacon.
Plumage.
Worst ornithologist ever. No.
Nah.
Not that nasty business. No.
Anyway, oology, study or collection of eggs. It's, of course, been illegal to possess a wild bird's egg in the UK since 1954, so it's not a thing, really. OK, agnoiology. Anybody? Agnoiology.
what?
Top right.
Sheep, lambs.
Sheep and lambs. I like
Study
that.
of sheep.
No.
Study of
A word that sounds a bit...
agnosticism.
yes, exactly
Agnostic.
same root, in
So-
fact, from the Greek agnosis.
So it's the study of not really knowing one way or the other.
Yes, it's a study of things we don't know.
Oh.
That's it, that's really it. Yeah. So the term was coined by James Fraser. He was a professor of moral philosophy of St Andrews, 1808 to 1864, and it's the theory of ignorance. Basically, he said there is more ignorance than knowledge. So he said, the fact of our extreme ignorance is undeniable. It is therefore necessary to examine and fix what ignorance is, what we are and can be ignorant of. So it's the study of
Love
stuff.
that.
I'd like that a lot.
Yes.
Right, any more? Let's see. Let's go back to our list.
What's the...
Agnoiology. Which one?
Posology.
Posology.
Posology, study of
Posing.
Instagram. Is that, was it? Yeah. Posing.
It's medical.
voguing.
So posos is Greek, how much? It is the study of medical dosages. So how much to give. There you are. Just how many pills, how many teaspoons. OK, heterology.
Heterology.
Is one of a pair. Which do you think it goes with?
Autology.
Autology, absolutely
Yeah.
right. Heterology and autology.
It's basically men and motors. They go together.
Yeah.
They're a Greek double act. They used to open for Plato.
Phill Autology and Jack Heterology.
Heterology.
Give it up for him. A word is autological if it is self-descriptive. So polysyllabic is autological because it is itself polysyllabic. But conversely, heterology is the attribute of a word not being self-descriptive. So, for example, if you regard misspelt with a T as British English as opposed to the American misspelled, which is spelt with a D, then misspelt with a T would be autological in America because it is misspelt and heterological in the UK because it is
Right, my head's just exploded.
OK, let's try the last one on the list. Piphilology.
Piphilology are all the pies that Phil likes.
So the important bit is pi? What is that in science? Pi?
The number.
The number.
Yes, the number. So it is the use of mnemonic sentences to record the digits of pi. So what you do is you use words with the same number of letters. So this would be a review, for example, of an episode of QI. Now I need a think. Knowledge of clever ideas was aptly conveyed, including general ignorance. If you remember that sentence, you will remember what the very first bits of pi are. The easiest one to do for the first 9. How I wish I could recollect pi easily today.
Is this a proper thing?
It is a proper thing. It's how
So
if you
people
were
go
a...
and they could do, and they study, this is what they do.
Well,
for
here is
years.
the really worrying thing about it, Claudia.
I'm into it.
OK, somebody wrote a 10,000-word novel using Piphilology, all right? It's called Not Awake, and I think you aren't by the end. I think that's a fair thing. It was written by, surprise, surprise, a software engineer called Michael Keith.
Really?
And
Is
apparently...
Michael here?
No, sadly.
I want to mount him.
No, but you know what I love? So that's your ologies, and here's another ophthalmology. What has a U, 2 T's and 3 I's? And here we are in its habitat.
This is not Boreham Wood, is it?
No,
Come on.
this is not Boreham Wood.
What I'd like, just before we continue, is some sort of deal that you're not going to make the klaxon
The klaxon,
noise.
you don't like that?
Well, I think I'll just jump and it will be nerve-wracking. And I'll jump in your lap. You won't like it.
Okay.
None of it's good.
So what I'll do, if it's...
OK.
I am looking for something with a U, 2 T's and 3 I's.
Is it a creature with 3 eyes?
It is a creature. So
Oh.
there's the beginning.
A Tuatara.
Tuatara, Lizzie, yes, very well done. It does have 3 eyes. Do you know any more about it? Have you seen one or...?
I have held one, yes.
Right.
It's,
At gunpoint.
It does have a sort of a third.
Yes, it has at the very top of its head, it's what's called a parietal eye, or possibly a pineal eye, but it can't actually see particularly well out of it. Mostly, it can distinguish light and darkness. Phil?
There is a red circle around nothing on that lizard. This is a classic
Where's his eye?
QI Trump-like ruse.
It's there.
Where?
You can see it there.
Yeah.
That's a freckle!
No, it's not.
Fight!
Right, if that's an eye, is that its old fella?
It doesn't have 6 penises, if that's what you're saying. And you know what? The weird thing is,
What?
that's his ass. It's got 8 asses.
Yeah. Ignore the third eye if you won't go for it. What it can do with its 2 eyes that we are going to agree on is it can use them independently. The thing I like about them is that they continue to give each other the eye very late in life. There's a male Tuatara called Henry at the Southland Museum in New Zealand. And there is Henry. And he became a father, possibly, we don't know, for the first time in 2009 at the age of 111.
Wow. Classic 6 penises.
At least his wife said it was his.
Yeah.
Bill here, as a lizard expert, is that the standard lizard grip that they are using there, Bill?
Yeah, it's just like you...
One under, one over.
Yeah, and if you do that
Gangnam
like that, it
style.
goes...
If you release it, does it fling into the face of logic?
It's going to upset you, Phil, but most lizards have a third eye, to a greater or lesser
Come on.
extent. Yeah.
You know that.
As do lampreys, lots of frogs.
Oh, I see.
Did you see?
That is an eye.
Yeah, look,
Yes.
see, there.
There.
That's it, there. There it
There
is.
is an eye right there.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yes.
There's another one there.
Look, I've got one! What are you on there? Unbelievable!
The eyes are really a conduit to the pineal gland, OK? All vertebrates, whether they have a third eye or not, have a pineal gland. So humans
course
have
they
it.
do.
It's in the centre of our brain. It controls the production of melatonin, so that's the bit that helps us to work out whether we need to sleep.
Here's a quite interesting fact I learned about melatonin.
Go on, then.
All right. You know mobile phones?
Yeah.
If you put one next to your head while you're asleep, it stops your brain from producing melatonin. Yeah.
So you can't sleep, then?
So, no, what it does, it creates the same fuzziness in your head.
Yeah.
It creates the same fuzziness in your head.
No, you need a pipe where they'll take you more seriously.
OK, tell me what I'm saying. Melatonin... Oh, sorry, yeah. When you're in the dark, when it's dark,
Yes.
the brain registers it being dark. But when you put a mobile phone next to your head, it still thinks it's light. And so the brain doesn't have proper sleep.
Define close to your head, like if you're sleeping on top of
Gaffering
it,
it
or in
to
the
your
same
face.
room. Yeah. This is fascinating.
No,
It is
you're like an
fascinating.
old bloke just before closing time.
What?
I don't think
true.
it's just before closing time. I think it's like an old bloke, middle afternoon in the pub.
Oh, yeah.
You know, when you go in the pub, you never normally go in, there's that bloke there going on about... put your phones down the end of the bar.
It's true. And another pint of beer. Yeah, oh, wait, has everyone gone? Oh, is it me? How dare you, an old bloke at
Where's your
closing
phone?
time.
Down the end of the bar.
Yeah. I keep it in Swindon. I don't keep it now. I keep it on the road. Those newfangled things are terrible things. The government's watching. The government's watching you through the phone.
You don't need a phone, just shout.
Just shout, yeah. Who needs phones anyway? Stupid, isn't it?
Just a glimpse of the future. Him just talking to his chameleon.
Well, if you got one, it don't do anything else, does it? What are you going to do with it? You can't take it for a walk.
What's like the first 10 minutes you have with your chameleon? Barry! Barry! Barry!
He's there, just there. Oh, shit, it's there. He went on a two-tone suit once, nearly had a heart attack.
Do you have this on Strictly? All you want to do is talk about the Foxtrot. People are going, Rumba, I want to talk Rumba.
No, I never want to talk about
nonsense.
the Foxtrot.
Oh,
No,
what's
this
it
is
like?
good.
What's it? I was asked to go on it, and I
I wish you would.
I
You
said-
could dance with the pipe,
I said, they said, who do you
chatting.
want? I said, I want to do it in character. They said, who do you want to be? I said, Abu Hamza. They said, no.
Right, moving on. Here's one of my favourite creatures of all time, the unfortunately named cockeyed squid. This I am very, very fond of. He's
Got an eye on his cock.
Yeah.
That is living the dream.
I can't believe that.
That's where you want your third eye, I noticed that.
So, the cockeyed squid, can you see, he's got a huge eye on one
Yes.
side. You can see that the top's got a massive eye. One points upwards towards the light, and then it's got a smaller one, and that's looking down, searching for prey, basically, so bioluminescent prey, so things like shrimp and so on. And it's the only known bilaterally symmetrical animal with differently shaped eyes. It sort of swims along at an angle like that, so you can make sure it can look up and down at the same time.
I quite like the idea of it going to the opticians. Cover your left one. Oh, wow! Bloody hell! Everything. Nothing. No, nothing. Nothing. I can't even see you.
What kind of glasses would it have, do you think?
It would have one monocle and one Hubble Space Telescope.
Anyway, back to the end of the pier. Next to you, you have a game. It is called Cover the Spot. So, you've got these discs,
Right.
and I want you to entirely cover the red, please, so we can't
Okay.
see any red at all.
All right.
So you've got 5 discs. There we go.
OK.
Yeah.
And, there. Oh, let's check. Oh, hello. Oh, come on. Oh, for God's sake.
No, we have to overlap.
I can see red in the middle. There's red in the middle. There was red in the middle there.
There must be a way.
That's red gone
There must be a
completely.
way.
Yeah.
Oh! You'd think it would be easy to do, but there is actually only one way of doing it, which is that you have to lay the first ones quite carefully, like that, and then it overlaps and you entirely cover it like that. But it's a little carnival game. While we are in this area, I want to ask you, why are manhole covers circular?
This is when the noise is going to happen.
No, it's OK, because Phil's ready to catch.
Right.
I like an element of risk. If it's Len, I'm going to be furious. Right. Don't do it, Claudia. Ah!
It's not Claudia, it's David.
Hang on. Oh, wow.
Oh, you put me in the eye.
Winkleman by name. Wow.
Wow.
Right, manhole covers, why are they...
Because it just makes more sense.
Because it makes more sense.
When humanity evolves to a giant size, we can use them as money.
Claudia is the closest.
It's easier to get it in the hole. There must be some reason that makes them easier to operate or something, just something logical.
One of the reasons that is often given is that it is impossible to drop it down into the manhole. That is one of the reasons for it is given.
Oh, shall I help you out?
Oh, no!
It makes it impossible for it to fall through.
Yeah. So that's not...
Wasn't so bad.
It's all right. It's okay. It's all right.
Fine.
Are you over it now?
Yeah.
OK, very good. It is one of the reasons often given, and in fact it was used as a sort of test in Microsoft and Google when they were testing employees. But there are 2 problems with that explanation. One is that given a sufficient lip, you can stop any shape falling down into the manhole. And in fact, in the UK, most manhole covers are not round. They are, in fact, a rectangle split into 2 pieces like that. They are 2 triangles, and it is the nature of a triangle to be inherently stable, so it won't wobble. If it was made of a single rectangular piece and a lorry hit it, you could possibly bend it out of shape. But if it's made of 2 triangles, you won't. But you were the closest, Claudia. The real reason it seems that a lot of manhole covers are round is because they're covering round holes.
That'll do it.
OK, quick run through some other arcade games. Here is one of my absolute favourites, a Korean arcade game called Bunga Bunga, which translates as Spankum. And what happens is the controller has a probing finger which they insert into the game's fake bottom. That is the game. What? Yes, this is an arcade game in Korea.
A finger.
Yeah.
Of course, if that game was in Westminster, it'd just be called Public School.
Yes, that's true. Apparently, it's a computer version of a Japanese childhood prank called kancho, in which what you do is you clasp your hands together in the shape of an imaginary gun and you attempt to poke your friend's anus while shouting kancho, which is Japanese for enema. I don't know why that would be funny. The Japanese, some marvellous games. They have a game called Nice Tsukumi, and the player is one half of a comedy duo. So there's a gentleman there on the left and a dummy partner, and you hit him on various body parts, and you get points for comedy timing.
No.
Yes, that's the arcade game. I know. Beaten only, I think, by a Soviet arcade game called Repka Silimutar, literally the turnip strengthometer. What you have to do is to test your strength by pulling turnips out of a vegetable patch. It's a game, it's not an actual turnip. You start at mouse level, which is pathetic, through cat, dog, daughter and grandma.
That's quite telling, isn't it? That the Japanese games, it's all like technology and electronics
And anal probing.
fake comedians and everything. and in Russia, it's...
Turnips.
You pick turnip.
Big turnip.
That's it.
Next week, we play Potato Invaders.
Yes.
So, enough children's games. Let's play one for grown-ups. Ology. Blindfolds on, please.
What? Ring-a-ding-ding.
Here we go. Everybody got blindfolds
Hold on. Yes.
So, we're going to play something in front of you. It's nothing dangerous at all. It's actually rather pleasant.
Is it a kitten?
It is even nicer than a kitten. So, we're just going to put your hands... Oh, there we go.
Thank you.
Right. So, we're going to do one at a time, please. So, Bill, I would like you to taste what you have in front of
Yes.
you and tell me what it is.
OK. All right, then. OK.
What do you think that is?
Oh, it's a wine.
Yes,
Some
what kind of wine?
A red or white?
Yes, please.
All right, red.
You're going to go red, are you? OK, Phil, have a glass, have a sip. It's right in front of you,
I'm
darling.
looking for the cheese. OK, all right.
What have you got? Red or white?
That's a red.
Red, OK, and Claudia.
What else could it be?
Is it
giving you a clue.
rosé?
Yes.
Rosé. Alan, what do you reckon yours is?
Disgusting.
It's a low budget. What do you reckon it is? Don't look, don't look.
Red.
Red, you're going to go red. It is to do with our inability, actually, mostly, to taste what it is. So, Bill, yours is a room temperature white, so most people would think it was red because it
yes.
is a
It was
room
too confusing,
temperature.
yeah.
Phil, you had a chilled red.
Chilled red,
So
yeah.
that is sometimes it's difficult to tell. And I have to say, Claudia, yours is the most complicated because it's a mix of white and red. So when you said rosé, I actually think you got it the nearest. And Alan's, yours is a white wine with red food colouring because we thought you might cheat. But there was a Californian wine grower called Robert Hodgson, and he was upset by how inconsistently his wine fared in competitions, and he thought that maybe the experts don't really know what they're doing. So he did an experiment in which he served the same wines to the same experts at different times. And the findings, they were absolutely stunning as far as the wine industry was concerned. Only 10% of the judges were consistent in any given year, and none of those were consistently consistent. So if you made a good judgment one year, maybe you didn't make a good judgment the next year. And he found that in California, all the medals given out for wine were effectively distributed at random because really even the experts weren't sure. And it can even be difficult to tell red from white in a blindfold test. But most people can't distinguish. So they did a test in 2011 as a psychologist called Richard Weissman. He tested 578 people, and most people can't tell. If wines cost between £5 and above £10, they can't really tell the difference. Now, that doesn't mean that all the experts are it's all nonsense, because it is very difficult. There are hundreds of different taste receptors involved. But the thing that you shouldn't do is decide to drink very expensive wine on a plane. Does anybody know why that might be?
It makes you angry. Grand Prix makes you
yeah.
throw things.
Have you had that happen?
The last time I had wine was at my own wedding. I was so tired I had to have a nap. Wine makes me feel... I mean, I'll be asleep in about a second.
Or is it just not your thing?
Well, also, it was quite a boring wedding.
Oh, OK.
My favoured flight beverage is flaming Zambuca during turbulence.
People often have, and I do this, I'll have a Bloody Mary on a plane.
Yes, only on a plane.
Yeah. The savoury taste is said to be enhanced by cabin noise. They now know that loud noise, like an aeroplane, can also affect taste and make some flavours more intense. The umami, the savoury taste, is improved, and therefore people love to have tomato juice on a flight or whatever. Now, time for a bit of optology. Look at this picture of a fire engine. Tell me what colour it is. Yes, Bill.
Red.
No. If you hide the rest of the picture so that only the red bit can be seen, what you'll see is that the whole... There's the colour spectrum. In fact, the whole thing is actually grey-green. So it's called the Retinex effect, or the Land effect. It's named after Edwin Land, the man who invented Polaroid cameras and so on. And the colour we see isn't just dependent on the wavelength of light entering the eye. It is also to do with all the adjacent areas, and the brain takes the information and decides what colour it is. So basically, it is an optical illusion. The thing that we are actually looking at is grey-green. And there are lots of other optical illusions. Have a look at this. I love this. This is the same effect, the Land effect, the one that we've just been having a look at. It's called the splitting colour illusion. So have a look. We've got two identical flickering coloured stripes. These are not going to change throughout the demonstration. You can see that they are identical. Then we're going to bring in colours on both the top and bottom, different colours, and as they go across, keep your eye on those flickering stripes, and you see that they totally change colour. So that the colour of something is dependent on its surroundings. That's what we learn from that.
That is brilliant.
Isn't that?
But the fire engine is
For
red.
hours.
A real fire engine is red. Your brain knows it's red, but the one you were looking at was grey-green. It's an optical illusion. Have a look at this. Is also an optical illusion, the Fraser spiral illusion. First described by James Fraser in 1908. He was a British psychologist. So the overlapping black arcs appear to form a spiral, but they are in fact a series of concentric circles. So if we bring in some coloured lines and put them over the top, you can see these are just circles. You see that actually what we were looking at was just circles, but it became... our brain made it into a spiral. It's a famous optical illusion.
These are good.
They are good. But now it's time to go straight over to the wordy shambles that is general ignorance. Is this a sardine or a pilchard? No.
Pilchard.
OK,
Is that
try
what you need, a
again.
pilchard?
Try again. Yes.
Sardine.
Sardine, yeah!
Dolphin!
If it were an optical illusion, it would be red. It would therefore be a red...
Snapper.
Easy.
I want that as a ringtone.
Wow. There we go. Snapper! Snapper!
I am aroused.
That is fantastic. Wow. That is a gift. Make that into a gift.
Again.
Can you do it one more time?
Right
Claudia?
in my
That's very
face.
good.
Ready?
I am ready.
Yeah.
God.
So if it was an optical illusion, it was red, it would be a red...
Snap.
What I was actually looking for was herring. It would be a red herring.
That makes more sense. Now you've said it.
Now I've said it.
Yeah,
So the terms sardine and pilchard do not relate to specific species. They're describing ways of packing fish. So the UN and the World Health Organization cites 21 different species that could be classed as sardines. And there's a thing called FishBase, which, if you haven't looked it up, it's a comprehensive database of information about fish. Seriously, knock yourselves out.
So it's not a massive shop on the outskirts of town full of fish.
No, I think... Well, they say there are at least 6 species that are pilchards and over a dozen that are sardines. Basically, they're fish from the herring family. Fish shorter in length than 6 inches are pool sardines, and the larger ones are pilchards. But we do lots of renaming of fish. So in Britain, there's a thing called the witch flatfish, very popular on the continent, not in the UK. It is a bit more popular now because it's known as Torbay sole. So then we think, well, that sounds nice.
I thought that was Bill's favourite disco.
The Torbay sole.
Cutting the rug down to the Torbay sole.
Red snapper is actually rockfish, but and my most favourite, slime heads, understandably, sold as orange ruffy. But who doesn't want a little fillet of slime head?
And hedgehog, they call it as pavement chicken.
The fact is, nobody knows for sure how to separate the sardines from the pilchards. OK, in theory, how fast can this boat sail? OK. Oh, the jib's broken. Oh, hang on a minute. Wait. Oh, there we are. OK, do
Is
it
it
again.
depending on the wind?
Yes, one moment. Hold that thought, and I'll do it again. OK, nobody knows for sure how to separate the sardines from the pilchards. In theory, how fast?
Something about wind.
How unusual a boy who came before I was ready.
Sorry. Put your glasses on.
It's happened
Back
again.
to square one.
Sorry. I'll see you tomorrow, same time.
Tomorrow, buddy.
I'm going to do it again.
OK, baby.
You know what to do. There you go.
I'm ready. Come on. Hold on. Just hit it now. All right,
Okay,
then.
there we go.
I'm ready, baby. Say the words, lady.
Bill, shut the fuck up.
Well done.
Claudia, I'm going to bring out a yacht,
But I'm excited about
and you're going to say, is it something to do with the wind?
But only one.
I'm going to do it. Snapper!
Okay,
Go ahead.
Shush. Put your wine away. Put your wine away.
God, it's bloody... It's just like being at school. Put your wine away.
Take time, Claudia.
Shut up, put your wine.
Shut up, put your wine away. Go on. I'll tell you what.
Happiest days of our
Claudia.
life.
Bovington Gurney Primary was a rascal, a hard knocks, I'm telling you. Here, Bailey, put your wine away and shut the fuck up.
Right. Quiet. Dear God, I need a drink. Right. Here we go. Nobody knows for sure how to separate the sardines from the pilchards. In theory, how fast can this boat sail? Claudia, what do you think?
Has it got something to do with wind?
Yes!
We got a wine over here.
You've been whining for 2 hours. Come and sit down. Come and sit down.
Come on, I'll say snapper. Sit down.
Stupid, eh? Stupid game, isn't it? Is it got something to do with wind?
No. Okay. Okay, it is to do with wind. How fast can it sail?
Yeah.
Ah?
Just,
Well, difficult, because after a while, the
Yeah.
wind will blow you quite fast.
Yes.
But then it will suddenly go into a spiral and take you up into the sky. So does that
How many times have you been sailing?
So there must be a maximum speed.
Yes. Okay. So what do you say? Maximum can't go
30,
faster than
40?
50
Well,
50 knots.
Don't have the number. Is it faster or slower than the wind?
Slower than the wind.
So,
Go
yeah.
slower than. Oh. What a shame! You fell right into that. OK, So imagine that the wind is coming from here, so you're sailing directly downwind. It's known as running.
Yes.
So the wind...
Sorry.
Yeah.
The
Sorry,
wi-
miss.
the
Go
wi-
on.
The wind will simply fill the sail, and it won't be able to go as fast as the wind because, of course, there's resistance from the water. However, if you are sailing across the wind blows across the sail, and this generates lift. So it's a bit like an aeroplane wing. So it's sucked along as well as pushed along, and if you add those two forces together, you can sail faster than the wind. The modern high-tech racing catamarans have taken this one step further. They don't even have a floppy sail anymore. They have much more like an aeroplane wing. So if you have a look here, the AC-72 catamaran, it has a rigid thing, the same size of wing as the Boeing 747. So using the aeroplane technology and the fact they lift out of water onto hydrofoils, they have speeds of up to 2.79 times the speed of wind. So unbelievably quick. Do you know, people often say to me, what did Stephen say to you as he left? And the truth is he shook his head and went, you have no idea. Boats sailing across the wind can go much faster than the wind itself.
Oh,
Indeed, there
stop
is...
going on about the boat.
Oh, thank God you're here. Right. A boat sailing across the wind can go much faster than the wind itself. Indeed, there is no theoretical limit to its speed. OK, which of these are there more of? Trees on Earth, stars in the Milky Way, or neurons in your brain? Yes, Bill?
Neurons in your brain!
Stars.
Your chance to be really clever. No, Claudia's go.
Is it trees?
Yes! So, 2015, a paper by Yale researchers estimate the number of trees on Earth is 3.04 trillion. That is, rather pleasingly, 7.5 times more than was previously thought. So they used a combination of satellite imagery and forest inventories and supercomputer programs. That's a huge number. Stars, obviously, quite tricky to count. NASA do their best. They don't really know the number of stars in the Milky Way, but probably between 100 and 400 million. So that would be 10 times fewer than the trees on planet Earth.
So the wind blows across the sail.
Brain cells, the estimate of the number of neurons, so that is your brain cells, in the human brain, it varies, is between 83 and 200 billion. If you count the number of synapses, so the connections between the brain cells, you're looking at as many as 1,000 trillion or 1 quadrillion, so 300 times as many synapses in your brain as there are trees on Earth.
Wow.
That's not every brain. And sand, there is apparently 7 quintillion grains of sand on Earth.
Oh, shut the front door.
I know. 7,000 times more grains of sand than there are synapses in your brain.
Not if the Jamaicans nick it.
A bit difficult to comprehend. Trees, stars, neurons, grains of sand. Let's just say there's a hell of a lot of all of them. And at the end of that onomasiological obfuscation, we reach the scores, and I've never been more pleased in my entire life. In last place, with minus 35, is Bill! In third place, minus 19, it's Phil!
Where's my shoes? I want my shoes.
Second place with a magnificent minus 16, it's Alan! And the winner with really a breathtaking 5 full points, it's Claudia! And this week's objectionable object prize is a cheap knockoff replica Swiss watch from China, which is inside your claw grabber game. If you can grab it, you're welcome to keep it. So good luck with that. It only remains for me to thank Claudia, Phil, Bill, and Alan. And I leave you with this. The great conductor, Sir Thomas Beecham, described a musicologist as somebody who can read music but can't hear it, and a gentleman as someone who can play the bagpipes but doesn't. That's all from QS. Thank you very much.